It's the man YSN, and you're listening to YSN Radio. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all know what time it is, man. I'm rocking with the man YSN, and you're tuning into the episode of YSN Radio, the coolest podcast. And I got a very special guest on the line with me right now. I don't know what time it is, all the way from Cali. He's all over the place, bro. Got the one and only Manish on the line with me right now, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm excellent, brother. Thanks for having me.
Man, glad to have you, man. Glad to have you, man. How's your holiday been? Thanksgiving is just a week behind us, man. Christmas is a few weeks ahead of us, brother. How's everything been going for you, the holiday season?
You know, it's always a good time of year, regardless of whether you celebrate it or not. More than anything, it's about getting the family together and just appreciating each other, man. And that's what it's all about.
Right, man. Right, man. You gotta appreciate the family, brother, man. So let's talk about you, man. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning, man. Talk about where you were born. I was reading the bio. Say you were born in Portland, but you grew up in LA, man. So talk about the early days of Manish, man, growing up, and how did you get into music?
Okay. Well, just to walk you through it, I was born in Portland, Oregon. Actually moved to the Bay Area after that at the age of 2 years old. So, and then from there moved to LA. So, LA's been home, but I mean, I've lived all up and down the coast, man. I mean, I've even lived in Alaska for a little while too. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, but I got into the music probably about 12 years ago. I've always been like in the scene, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up, being a dancer, like a pop locker, you know what I'm saying, break dancing and stuff like that. But I got really into, seriously wanting to, give my perspective and my game, to be a contributor to the music, about 12 years ago.
Gotcha. What was that moment that wanted you to get into the music portion?
I music's always been like, a safe haven, or like, like my go-to, you know what I'm saying, where like I learned a lot from the music, you know what I'm saying? And, just, being able to identify with other people that grew up like I did, you know what I'm saying, through the struggles and stuff like that. I always, the music was, like I said, music was my medicine. So, I just and now I want to contribute and give my perspective of, some of the circumstances that I've been in, growing up and stuff like that, and then just give that game right back.
Facts, man. Facts, man. Using music as a teaching tool.
Absolutely.
I like to call it edutainment, educating them and entertaining them at the same time.
That part. Yes, sir. Exactly.
I can dig it, man. I can dig it. So we'll take it back to 12 years ago, man, when you first got into the studio and recorded that first song, man. What was that experience like? Walk us through
that. It was a hell of a challenge, man. I mean, let's just say a lot's changed since then. You know what I'm saying? I've really developed a cadence now, you know what I'm saying? Whereas at first, it was a little choppy, man. I wasn't the best by any means, you know what I'm saying? Because I was really just more talking and just trying to find that rhythm, you know what I'm saying? And but the first song that I ever did was called Ain't Playing. And the message really was just, to help everybody appreciate, that coming into this game and coming onto the scene, that I ain't playing with it, you know what I'm saying? And,
right.
And hence the name Manish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I stand on my man shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very mannish about my delivery and my approach, because I've always been one to, say what's on my mind and on my chest.
Makes sense. See, I like how you explain that, man, because I grew up with a different definition of manage. It's funny you say this. So I was visiting some family over the weekend. My mom, she had a Facebook post that came up on her memories. It said, get a call from the vice principal at the school today. And turns out that Darius managed as a substitute teacher out on a date, not once but twice. So
that's funny.
No, you're right. So I grew up always thinking that like management, like a ladies' man, the ladies' man. You feel me? So reading up on you, I feel like that kind of had some parallels with you, you know?
Nah, for sure. I mean, the real definition behind it, more than anything you know, is relative to being a man. It is, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily for the ladies, but just being firm in your stance of being a man, and that's what mannish is about. So, and that's why oftentimes people will call you being mannish, like when you're real abrasive and you just say whatever the fuck's on your mind. You know what I'm saying? You don't hold anything back. That's a action of being mannish. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. How do you feel like
Yeah.
those characteristics have helped you throughout your journey in life?
Well, it's always resonated with me, man. I mean, I think a lot of it is just because coming from the environments of being on the streets and shit like that, man. I've 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 developed a lot of, I guess you could say, like, insensitivities to shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it takes a lot to to get me out of my element. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that is just because of the different experiences that I've had. So I've got no problem with giving game and giving perspective because I've been there and done that, and I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? So
No, facts. They say experience is always the best teacher.
I
You know?
would think so. I look at my kids and it's like, sometimes I scratch my head with some of the shit that they do because they haven't been through nearly anything like I have, you know what I'm saying? And I just be like, what the
Hey man, I feel like
It's a
that. I feel
different
like that's what
world.
I feel like that's what they're here for. You know, because
Yeah, for sure.
I have a 3-year-old daughter. You know, so she
Nice,
hasn't
nice.
been through much of anything. You know
For
me,
sure.
but uh it's so funny like how little it takes to set them off emotionally. You know, it's just like
Ain't
you
that the
realize
truth?
you could be living a so much worse life. You know, but
Right,
hey,
exactly.
you didn't get some cookies, so
Right.
the world is over. The world is over. You don't have
No
any cookies
shit.
right now, man. Oh my gosh, how would you ever
It's
deal?
the end
You
of the
know,
world, right?
right? But I feel like
From
that's a
that perspective.
testament. Exactly, I feel like this, but that's a testament to us as men. The fact
Right,
that our children's problems are so trivial and minuscule compared to the ones that we
right.
grew up dealing with. I feel like that's a
Absolutely.
testament to our journey and
Yeah,
our
yep,
accomplishments.
yep,
So,
for
how many
sure.
kids do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Six. I got six total. I got two overseas and then four with me.
That's awesome,
So
man. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
How how's the fatherhood journey been for you?
Oh, it's been dope, man. I right around the time when I started doing music, started writing and shit, man, it was about the same time that I started homeschooling. You know, I pulled my oldest daughter out of the second grade, man, because a lot of it was because of the shit that they were teaching, and just the over sexualization of everything in schools. But I mean, even the fact that they were teaching Huck Finn, like these kids run around calling each other niggas and stuff like that, like
Mm-hmm.
white kids calling black kids niggas and shit, and like really not even understanding what it is, but just thinking it's a game and it's funny and shit. And the real problem would really be the parents. You know what I'm saying? It's not even the kids. The kids are innocent, but it created a lot of hostilities and shit. And just to avoid me having to go to jail again, man, I figured I would just fucking teach them myself. So,
Right, right.
that's been a journey in itself. I mean, for about 4.5 years, we went RVing all around the country, and like we were teaching history and we were going and touching it. So we went to all but 4 states. You know what I'm saying? So it was really just a hands-on approach of you know taking the education and running with it. Especially with all the tools that are available and all the different curriculums that are available online and shit. Man, there's just really no reason why you can't. Because when they pack up the kids' backpacks full of fucking all their work for the week, man, the parents end up doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. No,
It's
facts,
like what?
man.
Yeah, because when a teacher can only do so much when they got 25 to 30 kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're not getting the type of attention that they need. I mean, we're the ones that got to sit down and break it down to them, and so they can comprehend it and understand it and stuff. So, like I said, the work falls on our shoulders anyway. So I just took more of a hands-on approach to just say fuck it.
Right, nah, man, and hats off to you for doing that, bro. Because I feel like, especially
Respect.
in today's uh landscape of education, man, you see the government is starting to interfere with the curriculum so much, especially in
Yeah,
states like Florida. You
yeah,
spoke about the white kids using the N-word and stuff. Trying
yeah.
to erase Black history or certain elements of Black history from the
Right,
curriculum and pretty much
right.
rewrite it. They
Yeah,
always say history is written by the victor, and I feel like,
right.
especially in Florida, man, that's really one thing that like kind of pains me, because like I said, my daughter's 3, man. So I worry
Right,
about that a lot. Like when she does reach the age to go to real school,
right.
what will I have to make a decision like that myself, because I grew up, my parents, granted I did go to public school, but my outside when
For
I was
sure.
home, my
Me too.
parents made an effort to take that hands-on approach to teach me things about Black history and different things
Good.
that I wasn't necessarily going to learn in school,
Right.
but because especially as a Black man, we have to it's important for us as Black people to instill in our Black children uh
Mm-hmm.
their history and their heritage
Right.
culture, because once they go to
Absolutely.
school, they're not going to learn that in school unless
Not at all.
so it's like,
Yeah. And then
and it's
if they do, it's a whitewashed version of it. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Martin
So
Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, very like basic surface level shit, man. And
right.
it's
Yeah.
and it's really starting to be prevalent, brother. Because like I'll talk to a lot of the young brothers right now, man. Because while I was in college, I joined Omega Psi Phi, which was one of the most
Gotcha. Yeah.
prestigious African American organizations in
Right.
our culture. And one of the first questions I usually ask young brothers upon meeting them is like, "Can you tell me something about Black history?" And
Right.
the younger I talk to, man, the knowledge
Larger the disconnect.
dwindles,
Yeah.
and it's like
It's a disconnect.
I've gotten like serious answers like, can you tell me something about Black history? And people have seriously told me, oh, Black History Month is in February. That's the only thing they knew.
Shit.
That's the only
And that's
thing
only
they knew.
because somebody told them that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Yeah.
man. So it's like, that's why I give my hands to parents like you who take that approach to, like, where you recognize like you're not going to learn this in school because they're not going to teach
Right.
it to you. They don't give a fuck whether or not we know our
Nah,
history or not. And as
not
you
at all.
saying, they're taking an active approach to make sure that we don't know our history. So
Absolutely.
it's like we
Yes.
need our parents to step in and pull, take and take the initiative to be like, hey, look, this is what it is,
Mhm.
and because we can't rely on them to do it for us.
Not
We
at
can't.
all.
Unfortunately, and
Not at
that's the
all.
sad part about it, man. And so, but I like that, man. So talk about this you said all but 4 states, so that's 46 states excursion, man. So talk about that, man.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh shit. Well, we started in California and we circled and like crisscrossed through all the states. I mean, the only ones that we missed was Alaska, Hawaii, and then both of the Dakotas, North and South Dakota. Those are the last ones.
Mhm.
And a lot of that just because there was so much shit around it. Like we went to Wyoming and like Glacier National Park and stuff like that, and like there was just so much shit around the Dakotas, man. It was just like
We can learn a
I didn't
lot,
care to
right?
see, and I didn't care to show them the fucking the what is
Mount
it, Mount
Rushmore.
Rushmore. Yeah, like what
Right. And plus the
the
Dakota is like the least populated states in America as it is. So it's like,
exactly,
here's some
exactly,
grass.
right.
Oh yeah.
Some cows and shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Wiz Khalifa's from South Dakota, so I mean
Oh right. You
it's
just
funny,
bump some
man.
black and yellow. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's he reps Pittsburgh and shit like that, but I mean, he was born in South Dakota, which is funny, but
I didn't know that. I just learned
yeah.
something new right then.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
Yep.
awesome,
So
man. Man, so that's pretty cool. So how do your children feel about your music career? Are they big fans of you?
yeah, they love it. I mean, um, as disrespectful as I can be sometimes with the music, you know what I'm saying? They overstand it. You know what I mean? Because even a lot of the references that I make, when I'm talking about, I say bitch a lot, you know what I'm saying? And, especially with having, young girls, you always wonder how they're going to perceive that,
Mm,
but really the message, it's not sex related, you know what I'm saying? It's a mentality and it's a position, you know what I'm saying? Of being a bitch and being a victim of of circumstances, you know what I'm saying? And that's really what that's really what I shed light on and make reference to more than anything. It's not a sexual thing.
right.
Even though I do, there's situations that I've been in, you know what I'm saying? Because I come from the pimping culture, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, my mom was in it, you know what I'm saying? And all her boyfriends were pimps, you know what I'm saying? And I grew up like that, you know what I'm saying? So, I do make references, to pimping and stuff like that. But really, more than anything, it's taking those circumstances and putting them into a positive light, because I mean, we should be pimping life, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
it's more so about, pimping your situation, whether you got a 9 to 5 and, you're taking all that money and you're putting it into your creative aspect, or you're building your own business on the side, something for yourself, you know what I'm saying? That's pimping that situation. Even going in and taking a low level position with a job, you know what I'm saying? And whether you sweeping floors or washing cars or whatever, it's not just accepting that. It's going in and moving up the ladder and elevating and that's a form of pimping. You know what I'm saying? So in any aspect, I mean, you could look at it. Like there's pimping and hoeing in damn near any aspect of life.
no, facts, man. Facts, man. You either
and my
getting
kids and
pimped
my
or doing
kids
it,
Yeah, and my kids appreciate that. So they appreciate the perspective, and so they get it. You know what I mean? They don't take offense to a lot of the shit that I talk about and make reference to, because they don't look at it, in the demeaning aspect that a lot of people probably do.
Right. It's coming from a place of love, you know.
For sure.
And
Absolutely.
I like how you said that, man, because I feel like there's been a lot of people in the game that come from the game. We got brothers like Sugar Free, Larry
Yep.
June. I'm from
Yep.
Tennessee, 8 Ball and MJG,
Oh yeah, I love
and
A-Ball
Project Pat,
MJG.
Gorilla Pimping, you feel me? They
Right,
talk
right,
about so many different aspects of the game,
right.
man. So using your experiences, man, like how do you
Mhm.
use your platform to paint the game in the light that you feel like it should be painted?
More than anything, like I said, it's taking different scenarios that I've been in, and highlighting the possibilities, you know what I'm saying? It's talking about, instead of being a victim of the situation, what can we do to pimp this situation and elevate and get out of it, and you know what I'm saying, so we can propel and do better things and do greater things, and like I said, just not being a victim, not being the victim of the circumstance, using the circumstance to as fuel to be able to elevate.
No, facts for sure, for sure. When it comes to the pimping game, man, like
Hmm.
I've done a lot of research on it because I
Hmm.
found the just like I feel like when it comes to like mobsters or
Hmm.
the biggest
Yeah,
drug dealers, man, it's just a very fascinating subculture. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Of American lifestyle really is pimping all over the world, man. So like one
Hmm.
thing I've always wanted to like get a grasp of is like where was like the disconnect, because I feel like there was a time
Hmm.
where like pimping, like the art form of it, was kind of like
Hmm.
looked at as in respect. You had the International Players Ball, you had guys
Right,
like Don Magic Wand, like
right.
all these figures in the game, whether like active pimps or what I'm saying reformed,
Yeah.
were like looked at as like like
What happened?
yeah,
Right.
what happened.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like pimping is like is looked at
Well,
as like really evil, like
it's a
the
hush. Well,
terminology is totally changed, so it's
well,
like
you know why? Because now, I mean, a pimp can't say he's a pimp no more, because he'll go to fucking jail for trafficking.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't glorify it like you used to be able to. You know what I mean? And it's because of that in itself, man. And so the shit still goes on, but it's not something that's celebrated as much it really was, in the 90s and shit, and even prior, so
Facts.
but
Because
it still exists. That's for damn sure.
oh no, I know for a fact it does, man. I know for a fact it does, man. But my whole thing about it is like, from my understanding, like the game, like from where it truly originated, it really wasn't like it is now with trafficking and stuff. It was really a consensual
Right.
agreement between two adults. I'm
Right.
gonna do
Yeah,
this, and you're gonna do that.
exactly. Exactly.
And it was like, just like everything else, a batch of bad apples spoils a whole bunch. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and which is crazy, man, because it's like nowadays it's like, like you said, man, like the word pimp is just has such a negative connotation around it now,
Right.
especially with all the propaganda around that is against it.
Mhm.
So in the modern age of pimping, man, how do you feel like, as far as the future of the game go, what changes do you
Mhm.
feel like has made that the game has made in order to survive the shakedown, if you will.
Like the evolution of pimping.
Right.
Um, I mean, God dang. I mean, you know, pimping is a mentality. You know what I'm saying? Just like I say, being a bitch is a mentality. It's all about position. It's taking whatever circumstance or situation that you're in and choosing what position you want to play,
Right.
and then just executing it to your best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be a bitch, be a good one.
Be a good one. Be the best
Be
bitch
a
you
good
can
one.
be. A lot of money in it if you do it right, goddamn.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
I can dig it,
Absolutely.
man. I can dig it, man.
Absolutely.
So, how did you feel about the movie Hustle and Flow when it came out? Did you agree with it, or was
Oh
it?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. I think I mean, obviously it was acting, but I think it still resonated, it still resonated in a lot of aspects because hustling is hustling. It don't matter what the product is, man. The hustle and the game behind it, man, is still the same. And those same principles and the core foundation of hustling, is could be in any aspect. You know what I'm saying? So I love Hustle and Flow, man. I thought it was dope. I thought it was
No,
dope for sure.
facts, man.
Shout
Facts.
out to Terrence Howard, man, for sure.
Oh man, he played a good one, man. It's so funny,
Hell
brother,
yeah.
because it's like, I remember watching it in theaters when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and like I have a lot of family from West Tennessee, so the
Nice.
a lot of the verbiage and mannerisms, I'm like, wow, this
Yeah.
guy, like, you'd have thought he
He
was
nailed
really
that
from
shit. Right. Like he from Orange Mountain and
right.
shit.
I'm like, geez, man, what a guy, man.
Right.
Do you feel like that movie definitely do you feel like, as far as like pimping and rapping goes, do you feel like you related to a lot of what he was going through in that movie?
A little bit. I mean, um, it's different because it was really more. It was so country. You know what I'm saying? And I am not. I ain't from the country. But
Right.
there were some things like as far as like just the way he hustled and he poured everything from pimping into the music, you know what I'm saying, and to push that career and to push his vision, and same thing, I could definitely identify with that because
Right.
from a firsthand perspective and basis. So I get it, man. It's taking
No, facts.
whatever the hustle is, man, and putting it towards your vision, man, and that's it, whether you got to get it out of bitch or whatever.
No, facts. Hey man, like you said, it's hard out here for a pimp when you try and get the money for the rent, man.
Real
Man,
shit.
we've all been there before, man. So talk about this single "Light Up," brother. How this track come together, man?
Oh man, that's actually the newest song that I released. But there was like four songs that I released back to back in October, man, and that was the most recent one. But that was with Audio Push, man, and the Good Vibe Tribe. Major salute and shout out to Audio Push, man, because I've always been a fan of their work, man. I love their whole vibe and everything, and that's why the music, the song, it resonates with them because it's a smoking track, you know what I'm saying? And most of my music isn't, I ain't talking about smoking and shit like that, but it's such a vibe, man. And but nah, light up is just that, man. Light up and enjoy the vibe, man.
I can dig it, man. And Audio Push, that is a very legendary group, man. So how did you get connected with them?
You know, it's actually through the producer. I started working with the producer just on some solo shit, and we ended up there was a few songs that he didn't have anything for, man, and so you know we reached out and ended up connecting through the producer, man, and was able to put that together, man.
Hell yeah, man. Shout out
So
to the
yeah,
producers, man.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. He's actually a British cat, believe it or not. He goes by It's Nice, man. So, but yeah, he produced that one, and then I did a song that I released just before that called "Don't Touch Me," which was with King Los, and he produced that track too. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah, man.
man, some dope shit.
I can dig it,
Yeah,
man. And I fucked with it too, man. I definitely like the vibe on there, bro. How do you feel about the
cool.
current state of West Coast rap?
You know, for me, I mean, I love the vibe because you know the ones that are true to the culture and true to the origination of West Coast music, man, I love, you know, and I say that because there's a lot of people that just they don't want to stay in their own lane. They're afraid to just be themselves, or like it's unpopular to be so West Coast or to sound too West Coast, if
Right.
there is such a thing, you know. But I mean, that's like saying, you know, you sound too Southern, you know what I mean, or you sound too East Coast. Like, what the fuck, like, you know,
Right.
like that is if it's you and it's in you, man, let it breathe, man, and let it go. So but you know, I say that to say, you know, that, you know, oftentimes, you know, there's quite a few newer, you know, West Coast rappers that don't you can't even fucking tell that they from the West Coast because
Right.
they on like so way off shit. Like they all on like South Beach and like got a South sound and like all kinds of shit. No knock to it, you know what I mean? But it's just it's not that West Coast sound. And you know, you know, when you hear my music, man, it's real reminiscent of the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know where that comes from other than just, you know, it being in me and, you know, maybe, you know, just some of the influences that I had growing up and just, you know, being around growing up and shit. And I think that's probably where my sound came from. But yeah.
I can dig it, man. So who's some of your Mount Rushmore when it comes to the West?
Yeah. What about it now?
People on your Mount Rushmore of West Coast rappers when it
Oh,
comes to your influences.
well, shit, man. I mean, you know, it's funny that you say that because you know there's a Mount Westmore, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's really hard to beat any one of those four.
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, you got
They
you
pretty
know
much
because
paved the way for everybody.
yeah, they did, man, and even still do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love all of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got you know from Ice Cube. I mean, come on, man. You know, NWA. You know, and you know, Snoop and everything that he's done and fuck E40. I love E40 because of his game and everything. And then you know, of course you got Too Short too. So, but you know, I think some of the who would I even name outside of that? I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to go. I mean, just because they've been so influential and so instrumental to paving the way, man. But you know, just to give you some more insight, I actually I done some work with Cocaine and Code 187, which Big Hutch, which is from Above the Law, you know, and
Right.
that's where G Funk came from and originated from. They're the architects of G Funk.
Okay.
And so I actually got an album that'll be out probably later on in 2024 and sometime next year. But I did a full album and movie with Cocaine, and I got Sugar Free on it and Code 187, and
Hell
yeah, man.
yeah.
So hell yeah, I
Hell yeah, man.
try to keep it rooted, try to keep it grounded to home,
Nah,
man,
facts, man. You got the
and
legends
pay
on there.
homage. Yeah, I gotta pay homage, man, and I'm all about that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, without them, man, there wouldn't be no us. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, getting Sugar Free, and then like I said, you know, legendary Cocaine and Code 187. You know what I'm saying? Because the sound, the architects of G-Funk is Cocaine and Code 187. You know, everybody that came after them, you know, spawned off from the G-Funk, from what they originated. You know what I'm saying? Like Snoop Dogg, Warren G, and even, you know, Nate Dogg. You know what I'm saying? Like that was after the fact, but the originators is Cocaine and Code 187. Code 187 being the producer
Hell
that
yeah,
produced
man.
that sound.
So I
So
like
I
that,
went.
man. I like how you're
I went
paying homage
Thomas.
to history, man, because you know, I feel like especially as rap grows, you know, our
Mhm.
legends oftentimes get left behind, you know. So
Right.
it's very
And
important to
it's a lot like, you know, this it's really the same approach that I had as far as teaching history. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's connecting those dots and making sure that and bridging the gap, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, without them, you know, there would be no us. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, really for, you know, the descendants and the younger ones that are coming up in this game, you know what I'm saying? It's important that we continue to have that same kind of mentality, man, and keep the bridges, you know, open to each other. You know what I'm saying? And so we can continue to flourish, man, and grow.
nah, facts, man, facts, man. And so 2024 is
Hmm.
right in front of us, man. What can we expect from
Yeah.
Manish coming into the new year?
Well, you know, I got a new album on the way. It's called Digest, for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it's kind of like my story. But you know, the other part of the meaning is to digest the game and the ism that I'm giving. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's on the way. But you know, the songs that I've most recently put out are going to be on there for sure. But I mean, I got some features like you already know about Audio Push with Light Up, but I got King Los on it too, with a song that I did called "Don't Touch Me," and then even legendary Razkaz. I
Hell
got a
yeah.
song called "Winning," and then I did a song with the Game too called "Act Up."
Hell yeah,
So
man. Real
yeah,
West
and I
Coast shit. I like it.
yeah, got to, man, you know, and you know, because like I said, man, I love and respect them. You know, I love and respect them as far as their art was concerned, and just grew into loving them as individuals. You know what I'm saying? And nah, it's great to work with some of the greats in the game, man. And you know, even you know, some of the legendary producers that I work with is like Jelly Roll. You know what I'm saying? Like he helped Exhibit when Exhibit was early in his career, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
yeah, so man, Jelly Roll is instrumental, man. I've done some work with him, and he actually did the track that I did with the Game, man. And
That's
it's
what's
just
up,
that
man.
that signature West Coast sound, man.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. That's what I
Hell
like
yeah.
to hear, bro. I can't wait to hear the album, man. It sounds like it's going to be a
So
dope piece of work for sure.
absolutely. And then I got I'm getting ready to ramp up, you know, performances and stuff like that, getting outside of California. I've been all over Cali, man, performing my ass off. But, you know, I got a show coming up in January 25th in Texas, and Corpus Christi, Texas coming up. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, man. Hell
That's gonna
yeah.
be dope, man. And good luck to you out there, man. And make sure
Appreciate
you stay
it.
warm, bro, because believe it or not, it does get cold in Texas.
Oh yeah, I know, man. I got some
Yeah,
family in Texas too. So
I, I
yeah.
I got caught off guard. I went down there for South by Southwest, and I was like, "Why am I
Oh yeah.
cold? I'm in Texas. I'm supposed to be sweating right now. This is some bullshit, man."
Right.
But
Not in
nah, man.
March, man. Yeah, March
Exactly
is
right. Like, come on
yeah,
now.
March.
Yeah, I was out. That was definitely a shock to me, man. But Manish,
For
that's
sure.
it's been a lovely time talking to you, brother. Before we wrap up, why don't you tell the people where
So
they can find you on social media? Where can they can find your
absolutely.
music once Digest drops? If they want to go and stream that, where can they find all that at?
Absolutely. I keep it real simple. All the handles and even my website is all the same. So it's Manish Music, which is MANISHMUZIK. So yeah, the website is gonna have like, as far as, I mean, not only my bio and stuff, but it has all the you know, upcoming releases and even the previous releases and all my merch, upcoming tour dates and stuff like that. So it's a good centralized location to be able to tap in with me, and even all my social media links. You can connect with me from the website as well. So
Hell yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
Well, Appreciate your time once again, man. I really did appreciate this conversation, man. Talking with you and learning
Gratitude.
from you as well, man. Can't wait to hear the music you got coming out, especially that record with the game, man. I'm a big fan of the game, so I can't wait to hear the what y'all got coming out too, man. Keep on doing your thing, brother. Keep pimping and keep moving, brother. Keep moving.
Off top, brother. It's mandatory.
Mandatory. I like that. I like that, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all tap in with man. This has been another episode of the coolest podcast in the South, YSN Radio. Make sure you check out all the other episodes, man, on every platform, man. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, anywhere you get your podcast. Check out the website, ysnradio.com. They got some really cool t-shirts on there. And make sure you vote for us. We just got nominated for Podcast of the Year with the Southern Entertainment Awards. And we want to bring home the home hardware this year, man. So make sure you put in that vote for us, man. And tap on with Manage. That album's coming out. 2024 is going to go crazy, man. West Coast is still here to play, man. So make sure you tap in with Manage. Until next time, man. Same time, same place. It's the coolest podcast in the South, YSN Radio. Let's go.
My man.